Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iRacing 3.5 Championship here at wonderful Elkhart Lake at Road America. I'm Austin. I am joined by Sam Fitzpatrick with Marco Barbonera in the booth as we are getting ready to go racing here today. Sam, how are you doing?
I am doing very well, and once again, this second week we went to a superb circuit at Silverstone last week, and this round 2 of the championship is another awesome host. A different circuit. It's a lot of low downforce, a lot of long straights around this place, but it should be a whole lot of fun. One of my favourite circuits this in the entire world. Everyone loves this place.
Everyone certainly has a great soft spot here. Here at Road America. I have a soft spot and then a kind of sour spot, but it is a pretty good spot here. I love the drafting here, and drafting is going to be very important, just like it was at Silverstone. A lot of straights, a lot of time to be behind that wing, and a lot of times you use that DRS to its maximum potential. So expect to see some drivers using some strategy with that today.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be the case. And yeah, once you use that DRS down, potentially through turns 3 and then 4 and 5, and of course the front stretch as well, that is a long period of time that you're going to have the DRS open. So that is a massive advantage. And also the setup around it, I honestly think maybe up there with Phillip Island. I think Phillip Island as well. These two circuits, they are so tricky to get the right setup for. You can put it on a lot of downforce and be mega around the middle part of the circuit, or you can take off all the downforce and be really quick through sectors 1 and 3, and that balance is tricky in every single car that you drive, and particularly in this thing where we see a big variance in the setup levels. Tim Delisle that we're currently focusing on, he seems to have a decent amount of wing on that car, I must say.
Yeah, Tim's looking like he has a different setup than everyone else. Also, sorry if I blew out somebody's ears. Earlier, my microphone decided just to adjust its levels up to 100% except instead of the percentage that I have it set. I believe I fixed it now. If anyone has any, if anyone can tell me if it's better or not.
I mean, I did turn you down, I must say, by about 20%. I thought that was maybe just myself.
No, no, that was on me.
It all sounds superb now, I must say, and it all looks superb because I just remember that we also got the overlay.
Oh yeah,
the overlay, so cool. It is though.
It is.
So,
it is.
So awesome.
I just looked into the chat. Sounded like you were really into Road America. Thanks, Karen, for making me laugh. But yeah, new overlay provided by the Wizards. I really love this, and we been getting a lot of great feedback. That's what the word is. I can English right now, I swear. A lot of great feedback and everything as we're sitting in qualifying, riding on board with Tim Delisle, our provisional pole sitter right now, as he takes us through the back section and coming up to Canadian corner. One of the hardest braking points here, and a great overtaking opportunity.
Yeah, it really is. There are so many around this circuit. Past this first sector for Tim Delisle, and on this lap, he also recently set the fastest final sector as well. 6 sectors round this lap, all about 20 seconds long, maybe a little bit short, 15 to 20 seconds. Tim Delisle approaching the line, then can he improve on his best lap time? This is his second lap, and he does, and that puts a healthy margin between him and Greg Olsen-Kunt, second place driver. Not for much longer. Manuel Hoyer puts himself up into second, but that's still a long way off Tim Delisle, who has been absolutely superb so far this in recent times. Marty Piatella just misses out by half a tenth. He got pole at Silverstone last time out. It all went badly for him after that, and that's quite badly as well. Hitting the wall. Thankfully for him, we don't have the knee damage model. Otherwise, I'm sure a wheel would have been flying into the trees.
Yeah, new damage model on these cars is something that's been requested, but by, I'm pretty sure, a lot of the community. I can certainly say at the end of 2020 that we'll probably have it.
Yeah, hopefully next season. I mean, I don't even drive this car, and yet I still desperately want it just for the broadcaster. It'd be awesome. Up to 14th place is Rob Crouch, although he just drops down to 15th because I think Cedric Bill has one of the few drivers out there. Also, Alexis Matarucho, Cedric Bill, Rob Crouch, although these guys now coming to an end. Usually, this place is really tricky to get in just a couple of laps. I mean, you think you got 8 minutes, and there's going to be a little bit of time either at the start where you're fiddling around with the setup. These cars are so quick though; they can get around this place in like 1 minute 45. It's really not much of an issue, and they can kind of get their couple of laps in plenty early. Rob Crouch though still got to do his first lap.
Yeah, Crouch, he hasn't done his own lap yet. A lot of people,
Oh, that looks nice.
I've just realized that my live timing is frozen. I'm speaking out loud, my bad.
I am very supportive of this Marlboro livery. Or Marlboro livery. Yeah, Zach Bodrick. No offense to Zach, I feel like he may not have designed it himself. There are quite a few of these liveries available on Trading Paints, but that is nice. That is really, really nice. Yeah, can we have like a classic Williams livery? Perhaps, I don't know, something to accompany this one. It'd be pretty awesome. But Zach currently, well, actually, that is time up, so he cannot improve on his time, and so we are going to go to the grid then for this 24 lap race.
Starting up on pole from Australia, it is Tim Delout with Marti Piatella joining him on the front row after that horrible start he had in Silverstone. He's looking for a better start this race. Behind him is Greg Olson, Manuel Huar, Edward A. Samborski, Paul Ilbrink, Manuel Domingo, Rob Bohr, Omar Baja, Alexis Marturuco, Jorge Exposito, Cedric Bill, Dan Yang, Massimiliano Kirbon, Thomas Knoll, Rob Crouch, Erica Lindstrom, Iker of Stefina, Theodore Burns, Juan Parada Jr., Phil Reed, Renard Augusto, and Zach Broderick at the back. And I also want to say happy birthday to Eric Senna. His 60th birthday today. Sadly, he passed away on 2 days before I was born, actually.
26 years ago, I guess, wasn't it?
Yes. 25.
Yeah, 94, wasn't it? Yeah, so 26.
Yeah, 26. It was 26. Yeah, I'm 25.
Okay. We are good at maths.
Yes.
So, Tim Delisle, we know that he is car number 1, and he is in first place. That's all quite simple. Peter yet to get on the grid. By the way, Domingo won't take the start. He has lost connection, so the driver starting in 7th place, unfortunately, will not take the start. There'll be a hole in the grid, which should really help out Omar Baha, I imagine.
Yeah, the car in front of you is really going to help you out, but the lights are coming on. It's time to rev up those engines, put the pedal to metal. Let's go racing here at Road America. Great start from Delisle. He's got Piatelli right behind him. It's a bit too wide and a little bit of diving and heading into turn 1s through turn 2 and into turns 3 now. Being American, any small little flick into the road is counting as a turn. DRS immediately down for Tim Delisle as he's trying to pull away. And we got a car in the wall. That's Rob Crouch, and that car is destroyed.
That's a lot of damage on that machine. I saw him drop down the order, and that's going to be the end of his day. I doubt he'll get back out onto circuit. Matarucho very wide, just trying to negotiate that turn 5. Surprised that no one has absolutely gone way too deep in there and caused a bit of a 10-pin bowling effect. All Knoll and Reed are off the circuits. Both very competitive drivers, and there they are, Knoll ahead of Reed. Surprisingly, Reed's car looks pretty good. Knoll's car maybe not so good. And now Massimilio Cherbachi is dropping down. He's down into 18th place. There he is, just getting back going. So a few spins, but only one major crash, and Delisle failing to break the draft. Everyone in this top 8 pretty much still in the draft of one another.
Yeah, breaking the drafts is going to be key here, since you can spend a lot of the time in the draft to gain up a lot of time and a lot of places with the draft. So DRS, like I said earlier, is definitely going to be key. Delisle has already used one use of 8 here at Road America. And that front pack of 8 cars still nose to tail with each other.
Piatella gaining a little bit down the straight, because their setups will vary quite significantly, although you can see the wideness of their rear wing gives you a little bit of an idea of how much drag they will have. And Piatella only gaining by about a 1/10.5 down that front stretch. So keep up to date with that, of course, via the SDK Gaming live timing. That link is in the description. You can see all the gaps between the drivers. Is some very useful telemetry for you right there. In the top 6 then, staying the exact same order, Baha gaining a couple of places, Dang Jiang gaining 4 places, so nice to have him, and also Lindstrom gaining 5 places. But Piatella within 0.3 of a second going into turn 5. Samborski looking pretty racy as well on the back of Hoyer. This is part of the circuit where almost just like an intermission. You won't get back onto the straights. That's the main characteristic of this circuit. And so these corners are almost in the back of your mind. You negotiate them ever so quickly through this track.
Got a car going off in that little intermission section, but look at Martí Piatella going right onto the back end of Tim Delisle. He's looking out to the inside. They're going to go side by side, heading into Canada quarter. Who's going to be the last late breakers? Piatella, P1.
Now, will Delisle respond straight away, or will he be happy to stay behind? This is inviting Olsen and Hoyer into the party as well. Ilbink has seemingly lost the draft a little bit to these guys. But Hoyer and Samborski right with them now. And here comes Delisle. Is he going to use the DRS? I don't think he is. No, that's still open, definitely. And Delisle looking down to the inside, or side by side, and he gets back the race lead.
Martí, though, he's holding it around the outside, he's still keeping Tim Delisle right there. This is great if you're Rob Crouch. And ooh, little late switchback move, upsetting Greg Olsen right there. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Rob Crouch, but Greg Olsen, a little bit of setback, and Samborski had to pull out of there. But this road is so tight. You can only really go 2 spots, and then everywhere else, as what a move from Hewer, holding down that inside line on Samborski.
And Ilbik's failing to really close in these guys that much. There he is, the 6th car in this chain. Still 7/10 behind. Would be fantastic to have him involved. Of course, many-time race winner, has fought for the official series title in the past against the likes of Delisle. Usually pretty quick in the races, Ilbik, but Steph failing to keep up to pace with them too much. And this is now a 6-car train, to be fair. He is right with them. Not many changes elsewhere in the field, by the way. This is actually the closest battle out on circuit, as you can imagine. But it is really close. By the way, on that last lap, Piatella with the fastest lap, 48.6. 7/10 faster than Delisle. That's what the draft can do for you.
Oh, late move in Canada quarter. Samborski's fallen as Ilbrink's moved his way up into 5th place. The Radicals online driver trying to catch that top 4-car train.
So Ilbrink now 1.3 off. This is such a tricky situation for Piatella, because the positive sim racing guys are all going to be scheming against him. They've got to work together. They will work together. Here comes Piatella, trying the same move. Oh, that's going wide there was Delisle. I'm pretty sure he had to get out to the throttle just to stay on the tarmac. And is he deep again? No, he's just got way more confidence. Much better line into 2. And there, or sorry, into 3. And then the 4. He can stretch his legs a bit. Can Olsen get past Piatella himself now?
He was looking down the inside, but he rejoined the line. It looked like he was trying to sell a dummy, and we all know Tim, he doesn't fall for those dummy moves. He's not me. So he certainly won't fall for that. But Paul Ilbrink has joined this train, and it's now a train of 5 cars. If you're in this train, what I suggest you do is not use one of your DRS to stay in the back of it. And if this lasts for all the way up to the end of the race with 8 laps to go and you haven't used one of them, it's time to start using those DRS laps. And I think these guys might be doing that. Just saving up the DRS, saving in the draft. But Tim Delisle is definitely not. He's enabled it and pulling away from the rest of the field from out of nowhere, really. Got a lot of time gain through the carousel.
Yeah, he's gone. Bolted. Maybe he has just used a few DRSs in a row, and Pieter's got to respond straight away now, as Ilbrink has got another place then. He's like in Canada corner. He's past Manuel Hoyer. And both those moves, first on Samborski and then on Hoyer, were quite unexpected. Ilbrink making some good progress. He's up into 4th from 6th on the grid. 1 second separates the top 2, and Delisle is pulling away down the pit straight. So
148.4.
Yeah, wow, that was quick from Ilbrink that time.
Yeah, Paul Ilbrink, even though putting in a purple lap time, so the 2 fastest drivers right now is Delisle and Ilbrink. We ride on board with Paul coming out of turn 3, heading through turn 4. Or, as I will logically say, heading into turn 3. I'm using the logical turn numbers now.
I have kind of thought on Apex Racing TV, shall I just like call protest on it and just say it's turn 3? And just not even question it. Don't even say that it's turn 5. Just say it's turn 3, and we'll try to change it forever. I know. Shall we do that? It's turn 3 for the rest of the broadcast.
It'll be turn 3 for the rest of the broadcast. It'll make me less confused.
We know what this one is. Carousel. And well, Ilbrink is 4/10 behind now, and I wonder if you can use the DRS coming out of the carousel through the kink.
You can use it whenever you want, wherever you desire, and how many times you want. Well, up to 8 times, but, you know, wherever you want mid-corner, you can do it. You can risk it at everything. And I don't suggest using it through a corner, since that will, well, cause bad things to happen, but you can risk it.
And to think I was doubting Paul Ilbrink earlier on in this race, I was thinking, well, he's not been quite keeping up with that lead battle. Ever since then, he's made up a couple of places, set the fast lap of the race, and is on the tail of 3rd position. And I think he might be the fastest this time as well. Yes, getting into the 47s. 47.8, Delisle 48.0, Piatella 48.0, Olsen 48.0, Ilbrink 47.8, and also Hoyer with a 48.0 as well. Incredible consistency. The 4 of the top 5 drivers separated by 1/100th of a second that last time round, but it seems like Ilbrink, car number 2, has the edge on everyone.
Yeah, Paul Ilbrink in that in the back of this train. He's got the draft. He's got everything ahead of him. He's seeing the lines people are taking, which pretty much everyone's taking the same lines here, but he can adjust to what people are doing. But he's got the draft helping him up. He's saving the draft charges that he's using. I believe that's Greg Olsen ahead of him. He was using DRS going down that front straight, so he did get even more draft out of there. Not as much as he would have, but the extra speed from Olsen did help him a little bit. And let's see if DRS is used coming out of here. No, it's not. He's actually lifting.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to catch up going into Canada corner, wants to leave a little bit of a gap so that he doesn't have to affect his line. Of course, a lot of turbulent air in these machines. These are incredibly fast cars, a lot of aerodynamics on them. But not quite to the same extent as the MP4-30, which is the most recent Formula 1 car we have on the iRacing service. That's a nice BAR livery as well, or a Honda. No, that is a BAR livery. I want to say like 03 or something. Marco Babner is very welcome to correct me on this one. Or Austin, if you know better than me, for Theodore Burns. I'd say that's yeah, early 2000s.
I'm not going to correct you during there because I was not aware of Formula One at that time.
Aha, fair enough. Jacques Villeneuve, the legend, back in '03, I think, alongside Button. Again, anyone on the chats, very welcome to correct me on that one. But seeing some nice vintage liveries out there today. Ilping just cannot get past. However, Piatella on that. Oh, Olsen spun,
Oh!
and he's ruined his chances at a podium. How much damage does he have? He did hit the wall seemingly square on, but he could have a lot of staying damage, or he might be 100% fine. Let's watch this one again.
I noticed some aero damage of him coming off there as he's heading to turn 3. Just a lot of speed going through that corner a little bit too early on the gas, and a big smack gets to the wall. That's 2 damage into there. He does have suspension damage as well as constantly turning left. He's going to be very cautious through the rest of this lap. He's currently sitting in 10th place, has a few more cars behind him. This kink is going to be very crucial for him. He's letting people know that he has damage, so just be careful around him. He's trying his best that he could do. A small crab in that car. And we also got a battle up for 9th with there. Let's go back up to the battle for the lead. Dalal and Piatella.
And now Ilbrink is got no cars between him and the race leaders. And Piatella is well and truly back into that slipstream. It's hard work now for Ilbrink. He's got to kind of forge a way for himself. Ilbrink losing a lot of time down that straight. To be fair, it was to Piatella who was in the draft. Maybe he's running a bit more downforce. Greg Olsen, by the way, into the pits would have undoubtedly had a meatball. Dalal using the DRS.
Yeah, he's been using a lot of DRS early on in this race, trying to just pull away from the draft and let the draft speak for him and how he wants to play this race, which is a good strategy. Get out of the draft early on. Don't have to worry about a lot of things later on to the race, which is pretty much peak Tim Dalal's style. Just run away, check out early, kick your feet up, have a beer, and relax.
Interesting that they're in the rev limiter when they're using the DRS, even if they're not in the tow, as long as they're using DRS in the rev limiter. So just keep that in mind for the last lap. You don't necessarily want to leave it to the last lap to make the move, because if you are in the rev limiter halfway down the straight, then you're not going to be able to make a move. So you probably want track position then. However, of course, those DRSs still can help you out, particularly on the defense. A real great use. Exposito trying to catch up to Matarucho. Half a second. This is about for P8. They're only 1.5 seconds off Real Poor as well. In fact, they're only 10 seconds off the lead. It's a very close field today. Everyone's seemingly on pace. There's really only a handful of corners around this place where you actually have to brake for them. It is the vast majority just straights.
Yeah,
it's Monza this circuit.
It's the Monza of America. Even though a lot of people would argue that would be Daytona or any of the 1,000 ovals we have here. But this track is pretty much the Temple road course of speed here. As let's bring up the weather. It's a 22 degrees Celsius on the track. Partly cloudy skies. 22 degrees in the air as well. Here at 7:06 in the morning at Elkhart Lake.
Ilbrink's losing time now. It's not quite matching the pace they had earlier on. I wonder if that's just because he's lost the draft. Because on that last lap he lost half a second to the race here. That's a big margin. God knows power forming right now behind Theodore Burns, and I just can't want to see that BAR livery, to be honest. Once again, he's got Parada Auguste, and wait, who is that behind? Cherubin. There you go. Is it Cherubin? How are we meant to pronounce his name?
Carobine is
okay.
what Marco has let me know, but the way he spelled it didn't help me at all. So I'm probably going to get another correction in a bit from Marco. Oh, apparently it was perfect.
Oh, there you go.
Only took me 3 seasons.
Carabine. There you go. Anyway, he's 1 second behind Auguste. No overtakes particularly on the race. I guess Purado and Auguste are pretty close. And he's the race lead. This is close again. 2/10.
Yeah, Marty has just been in the drafts and waiting behind Delisle. He did try to go for the lead earlier on, but I think right now he's just going to sit back, relax, and let Tim waste his DRS, but Tim might be onto him right now. But this is great moves, great lead battle we have from Pietila, who has just set his longest race with us in the iRacing Formula 3.5 series, because all the times we've had him, he's had an incident on lap 1.
Yeah, it's strange that, and especially for a driver who was unbelievably reliable in the World Championship Grand Prix series. I think he did so many series. I think he's up there in the top 10 most race starts actually in that championship, which was Piettelli. He was always around. Of course, drove for Coanda, BRS Coanda, and yeah, we've got a few podiums even late on in his career. Had a lot of success, I think, early on. So he's one of the best. I think undoubtedly Delisle. Going back to those times, Delisle would definitely qualify as a World Championship driver. Of course, Ilbrink was a World Championship driver for many years as well. He's one of the highest race starters as well in that championship. So some real veterans out here, and Delisle is very much fighting well with them at the moment. By the way, Carabin is mega close to Purada now. They're literally side by side further down the order. Purada just winning out on that occasion.
DRS for Delisle and Marti as they fly down the straight, still pulling away from Ilbrink, and who are, you mentioned Carabin and Purada. Let's switch back to this battle for 14th.
No DRS, from what I could see. And Carabin has got past Purada now into turn 1. Nice work from the car number 23. That's impressive. That's very impressive. So that means that he's the lowest I-rated driver, and yet he's firmly in the midfield. Nice job for Carabin there.
If you're new to the Formula 3.5 cars and don't know, oh, good battle heading into turn 3. Exposito sending it up the inside. And Martaruco, and he's got it. Nice job for P7. And back to what I was saying. If you're new to Formula 3.5 cars and don't know about the whole DRS thing, iRacing doesn't have the full DRS animation. Like always, that would be a... So they have a little bit smaller one. There's a little flap in the wing. If it's closed, that means DRS is activated. If it's open, it is not activated, but the DRS still works just like it does in real life.
You're nailing the pronunciation today, aren't you? Matarucho.
This is weird. I never do this.
No one from Texas has ever done this before. I mean, this is unprecedented right now. So congratulations. So Matarucho, yeah, ahead of oh dear, Dan Jiang, yes, sure. Also Exposito just ahead, and then we've got a really nice battle behind them between Bill and Lindstrom, Burns and Augusto. They're all in a bit of a queue. So all of a sudden, lap 12, the battles are really forming up, and this is one of them. Piatella now with the fastest lap of the race. They're still pulling away from Ilbrink. This is turning into a two-way battle, and Piatella moves to alongside going into turn 3. Is he going to get the cutback, or is he going to try to go all the way around the outside? He's going to go around the outside. However, he's going to the outside once again for turn 5. You can make this move stick, but he thinks better of it. He's happy to remain in second place for now.
This is a great battle between Delisle and Piazza. Piazza swinging around the outside. Delisle did a nice switchback as they're heading into Bratwurst Corner. I can tell you because they cooked some very nice bratwurst here. And a little bit of wheel banging right there from Piatella as he gets in to first place ahead of Delisle and Paul Ilber. Let's get another replay of that. I think they might have touched from this lovely chopper cam. Piatella looking down the inside, Delisle around the outside, side by side they go. Do they touch right there? They do.
On their side by side again. And Piatella's been overtaken again. I don't know what happened to him coming out of the carousel, but he just seemed really slow. And Delar's got straight back past him, and now Ilbrink is with them. Did he use the DRS, I wonder?
I think DRS was a big factor in there. No, he didn't.
Wow.
It just may have been a very bad exit for Piatella coming out of the carousel.
Ooh.
We got a car off. That's Theodore Burns.
That's like a BAR now.
And that is a serious burn by Sam.
Oh, we are on fire. Gee, oh, that's another one. That wasn't even deliberate. Unbelievable.
Is this the World Endurance Championship? No, wait, that's tomorrow. Tim Delisle defending on the inside. Piatella looking around the outside. Side by side they go. Draft is enabled. And Piatella has locked in P1 right there. But hello, who's knocked at the door third? That's Paul Ilbrink.
And Hoy is only 1.5 seconds behind now. By the way, Matavucci's just set the fastest first sector of anyone, just randomly. So good for him. Hoy used the DRS just a moment ago. So yeah, Hoy 1.5 seconds, but this is a three-way battle, and I'm surprised that Piatella was fighting so hard with Delisle. This is where, as we're about to find out what happened to Burns, this was all getting a bit chaotic. We were occupied with what was going on for the top two. Burns on the outside. Oh no, and his rivals just understeered into him there.
That was never going to be pretty. So we look back at the leaders going to Canadian corner. Piatella, Delisle, Ilbrink, your top three. Look at Dan Yang, Matrico, and Exposito going to Canadian corner. No Sateo, all three of them very nicely done.
Piatella built a 0.5 second gap. Delisle's got better straight line speed, I don't think. Oh, he's using the DRS again. He can't have many left, Delisle. He is using these very willingly right now.
He's using DRS as much as Oprah gives away free stuff as her shows. I don't watch Oprah, but I do know the meme.
Past Matavucci, by the way. That's for the 7th place. I doubt that will stick. I mean, we're talking about these changes of position. It doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot if they're just going to come back at the very next straights.
Yeah, it's like racing on a super speedway oval. You're going to see so many position changes that it's not going to matter, and the only thing that they really matter is laps led there. And this is Zach Broderick. What's happened to him?
Just what great looking car. Oh, that's no, you don't treat it like that. Oh no, it's not good looking anymore.
It was a great looking car. Now somebody probably has a good photo of it.
Yes, yeah.
Coming straight towards them, because that's a popular photographer's spot right down there.
43 people watching. Thank you very much. It's good racing, isn't it?
Good racing to relax, to have some fun. I do know some people like putting this on to their TVs and watching it with the family, since, ooh, got a nice move from Augusta right there. But look at Lindstrom. He's going to try to fight back coming out of Canadian corner. And we got a car coming out of the pit lane. Luckily, he does a smart thing and just lets the leaders by. Martin Piatella leading out Delisle and Ilbrink through turns 1 and 2. They're heading down this long straight towards 3. DRS not being used by Delisle.
I think, how many times have we seen Piatella use DRS? I reckon once.
like I said, I don't believe he's using a lot of DRS. Like maybe 2 or 3 times he has. We'll find out in the later parts of this race, though.
I mean, you could potentially use it, what, 3 times on the last lap? So one down the pit straight to start the last lap, and then, of course, going down into turn 3, and then you could use it through the kink, and then probably on the run to the line as well. So if you got 4 DRSs with just over a lap to go, you're in a very good position. That's going to be a quick lap for you.
This is Renault Gus. Oh, got a
Ooh.
little bit airborne. A little bit risky track re-entry, but got a bit airborne. Got the car back under him, and got back on track. But there are multiple spots to use DRS here. You can risk it at the kink. It's just that is a risky spot if it's not a do or die situation. So I would say at minimum there are 2 spots to use DRS here. 3 if you're crazy. 4 if you're Marco. I'm not calling Marco crazy or insane. It's Marco. And Delisle getting very close to the gearbox, but not looking down the inside for a move, just positioning himself for turn 3.
They're much faster than Ilbrink, but they keep fighting, and it's inviting Ilbrink back in. It'd be great to get an interview with Paul later on, because usually he's willing to have a chat with us. Usually quite negative about his own driving as Ilbrink. He's quite often, I had the pace of those guys, but I just made too many mistakes. I don't know what his reflection on this race would be.
Well, he's currently 2 spots up from where he started. He just put in the fastest Sector 5 time of anyone. Well, actually 3 spots up as I said that, because I apparently have dyslexia, or I'm looking at the wrong numbers again. But Paul Ilbrink sitting up there. He's got the best seat in the house for this fight for the lead, and if anything happens, he'll be locked in to try to go for that win. But right now, he's sitting with a little bit of that bubbly in 3rd place.
Augusto, Lindstrom, and Parada still very close to one another for 10th, 11th, 12th. That's pretty much the only other battle going on. Just over a second separating everyone else out on circuit. And this is Augusto, how he managed to get past Lindstrom a little while ago.
A great move down the inside. A little bit of oversteer, a little bit of a wiggle right there, but he's still ahead. Back up front, Piatella and Delisle. DRS being used by Marti. No DRS from Delisle. I think he's saving that one, if he has one, charge left of it.
I don't know about you, but I think Delisle is faster. Down the straight, at least, which is what you want in this situation. Because,
oh, yeah, of course.
But what about the run to the line? Do you reckon that if you're close enough coming out of... Do you think it's a realistic possibility that we could see a change of position on the run to the line, or do you think that start-finish straight, or start-finish line just isn't far enough along the straight?
I know the hill plays a giant factor in who has the right position. It's going to be all about who has the best momentum. I definitely know in the Skip Barber, you can definitely have a charge towards the line through there, because I've done that 3 times before, and it is such a great feeling. But in these cars, it is just a split second from that last corner, in about like 2-3 seconds until you get to start finish line. I don't think it will have enough time for the car, unless you put the car up onto the inside and the other guy makes a mistake. But it's going to be a last lap earlier on into the lap, coming out of Canadian corner, where that race is going to be, Canadian corner is where it's going to be decided from.
So Lindstrom gets back ahead of Augusto. That's a sort of tight battle for 10th place. Parado and Carabin with those guys. Also, Hoyer catching up to Ilbrink slightly, because Ilbrink just cannot keep up with these guys. 47s is kind of the make or break time. If you can get a 47.9 consistently, then you're probably going to be able to catch up to the race leaders. Ilbrink on that last lap, a 48.3 on this lap. Actually a 47.9, but Piatella with the fastest lap of the race, a 47.5. That is quite a gauntlet he set. Was with DRS though.
Yeah, DRS and just a little bit of help from the draft of the last car, Manuel Domingo, ahead of him.
You can see Domingo still out there. Sure, he still wants his iRacing after losing connection just before we were gridding up. Who knows where he would have been if it weren't for that? Probably around Samborski, Baja area, I imagine, in 5th or 6th.
This battle up front. It's taking a little bit of a procession right now as Delisle, he believes he's faster, and he's just chilling behind Piatilla. And, oh, he's actually gone a bit wide through the carousel. He's taking a different line, and he's got a good run coming out of there. That is a good following maneuver. Getting out of the draft is a little bit, but taking a wider line through the corner gives you a lot of speed up onto the exit. I think he's starting to plan something. As, oh, looking down the inside, Carobin unable to get it on Parada.
Yeah, I think Delisle just finding lines through that carousel where he can get out of that turbulent air, where that affects us slightly less. Ideally, if the opponent is on the middle, so you want to get on the inside, because the turbulent air kind of drags out wide. I don't know how realistic the iRacing effect is, but I think it's pretty good. So you kind of want to be on the inside of your rival. However, of course, if they're hugging the inside, there's not a whole lot you can do. So just mixing up the line can be really helpful in that situation. 0.8 of a second between Piatella and Delisle. As Carobin going to go for another attempt here. 4.5 tenths of a second. He's not getting too much now, but now you can see that gap just going down meter by meter. Down to 2 tenths. Will he peer out from underneath? Goes to the outside. And his opponent, Parada, fended off the move. And they are losing a little bit of time to Lindstrom and Augusto just ahead. Carobin with a half attempt and through turn 2. That affects him a bit. Now using the DRS now as Parada as well. He really wants to keep track position.
As we're looking at Carobin looking down the inside at turn 3. He thought about trying to sell his dummy, but a little bit of contact on the exit between these two. No damage that I can see as they're heading through this very tricky left-hand corner. Parada, better exit than Massimiliano. And I'm definitely going to get a pronunciation correction from Marker right there.
Massimiliano. There you go. You nailed it. You're good with this pronunciation. It's taken a little while.
What the heck happened?
How long have you been commentating for Apex now?
I'm just closing down on a year.
There you go.
And oh, there's a slow. Oh, that would be Manuel.
Zach Broderick. No, it was Manuel. Apologies.
Yeah.
Again, why am I doubting you? You're absolutely nailing it. There is Zach Broderick. I just want to see that car, to be honest. It's all fixed up now. And Theodore Burns, his car not quite as fixed up.
Does it have a front wing?
It has some of a front wing.
Yes, it does. Okay. I had to adjust my graphics settings for the 12 hours of Sebring, and I just never changed the back.
You see that I've got everything as low as it possibly can right now. So and F15 FPS. So think of yourself as lucky. I can still see if DRS is being used though, and that's all that matters. There you go. I can see that using DRS at the moment is Parada. Can't have many left.
Yeah, doesn't have many left. Doesn't have many laps left. Parada looking for a switchback coming out of turn 3. He's got the inside line of what I like to call a Corvette curve. Looking down the inside, trying to elbow his way around the outside, heading into Bratwurst Central, but unable to do it. Parada still ahead of Carobin. And I've had these drivers mixed up the entire time. Matarico behind Giang. Giang using DRS heading into Canada corner. You get to... Oh, Giang sliding off into the border. And that is classic Canada corner. Carabin a little bit twitchy on corner exit. Camperata defend from this charge.
Augusto's into the pits after that spin.
He took a hit, but it wasn't that massive hit. And here comes Carabin looking down the inside. Parada and Carabin side by side heading into turn 1. And it's going to be Carabin up into P11.
All of a sudden, Ilbrinks just thought, you know what, I'm going to go faster than everyone else. He's absolutely flying, all of a sudden, is Paul Ilbrink. He's down to 2.5 seconds to the race lead. He was nearly 2/10 faster on that last lap, fastest driver of anyone. As Parada, I think, just confirming that move on Carabin. Also got Mataruccio and Exposito again. Close. I don't think they've switched positions for a little while of these guys. As Broderick's just had another.
Ooh. Broderick off. Probably got the smell of bratwurst. And I'm serious about the bratwurst. If you ever go to a race to Road America, they cook bratwurst awesome right here. I know Tyler, during one of his practice sessions, he actually drove with a little bit of a crack in his helmet. You could just waft in the smell of bratwurst. I'm just thinking about food right now.
Oh,
Samborski.
That's Baja getting past him. Oh, that's a disappointing mistake from Edward. He'll be absolutely kicking himself because he was by himself. He has too much... Oh, no, well, he didn't carry too much speed in, but then just got a little bit too wide, and he was lucky that he needed
too much correction.
60.
Yeah, Samborski has been very, very consistent throughout the end of last season and the start of this season. He's still in that consistent top 10 spot, top 8 where we usually see him, but we've been getting comfortable for him getting a top 4 and maybe even podiums as well, as we're riding with Mataruco ahead of Exposito.
No DRS being used by either driver. Lead gap, by the way, is up to 1 second. Ooh, Parada.
Ooh.
Bye-bye, Carabin.
Is there a little bit of spice into this corner? Nope, no spice. It was... Oh! This is just almost exactly what we saw with Samborski. And
Could
a
that be
completely
the tires,
different
maybe? Bit of degradation.
The tire degradation, throttle application, a little bit too much beans in the salsa. Could be a number of things.
Oh, it's back down again. Oh, here we go. I thought it was race over. 1 second. 2 laps to go. Down to 7/10. How many more DRSs, though, does Dalal have? This is what we really need to know from iRacing. Please add this function, iRacing.
Add 3 things. Pit careers for replays. DRS full animations. Actually know how many DRS somebody has left. Please and thank you.
I think he's just used another one as well to allow down the pit straight. Seems to be his rear wing closed or open. So, I mean, whichever way around. They go deep in the limiter. So, it's not an easy overtake if you use the DRS. But it's more of a defensive move, I think, rather than an attacking move. Because it almost makes you unovertakeable, pretty much. I'm sure that's what Piatello's mindset is right now. Hoyer has got past Ilbrink. He's just at the fast lap of the race, did Hoyer. He's got a few DRSs available. Ilbrink... Oh, he's lost the rear as well, hasn't he? Oh, wow, these rear tyres really struggling for these guys.
It's a very acceleration-heavy track, so I'm not surprised at all with the rear tires going away but Ilbrink was sitting in third, just very comfortable. But Manuel Huar, he set the fastest lap last lap, and he's been on a silent charge up into third. And speaking of a charge, here comes Delisle charging it up into Canadian corner on the back of Martin Piatella. And it's about to be gloves off time because they're about to go mano a mano for first place here because it is one lap to go here at Road America.
Where's the DRS? Marty, use the DRS. You gotta have some left. How's he not got any left? He hasn't been using it all race.
Sale La Blanca. No DRS.
Can Delisle do it? Round the outside 3-1. He's not.
He's done it.
He's done it. He's done it now.
He's done it. He's got completely ahead of Marti. I think Marti, though, was doing that on purpose because he's going to have a better exit. He's going to have the draft coming off of turn 2, heading into turn 3, but Delisle is glued to that bottom line. It is going to come down to this corner and a few more. No DRS between these two drivers side by side, heading into turn 3. Marti swinging it around the outside, holding it off onto the exit ahead of Delisle, and Marti's back into first place.
Surely he's got a... Oh, he's got it! And it's Piatella off. And he's lost the podium. Delisle is going to win. And Piatella is dropped to 4th. And this is how it happened. Piatella with a sublime move round the outside. And I think this may well be a bit of netcode from Delisle. Oh, loads of it.
Okay, a bit of netcode. Okay, there was a bit of netcode, and then there is a giant just slop of netcode, and that was a slop. And Piatella just driving off the track and retiring. Oh, that is unfortunate because he was pulling out all the stops today, and just that is just so unfortunate. Delisle leading out Huar and Ilbrink as he's coming around the final corner. And he's got a straight to pull off. Probably not the way he would have wanted to win, but it's still a win no matter what. Taking the win here at Road America and round 2. Tim Delisle with Huar and Ilbrink following right behind.
Exposito and Matarucci. Exposito's got ahead right at the end. He was behind at the start of this lap. Is there any response on the run to the line? Bit of a draft effect. Up the hill they go. Closing, closing, closing. Here comes Matarucci. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. No.
It's just so little for the aerodynamics to take place and just everything on that final line. It's very cinematic, I must say. It's a great charge. If the start finish line was at the end of the pit straight, at the end of the pit wall, it would be a different racetrack at the end. Juan Parada Jr. had a great race today, up 9 spots, tied for the biggest mover throughout the race. Theodore Burns been having a tough one in that lovely Honda livery car. What a race.
Good track this, ain't it?
It's a good track. It's an awesome track. And awesome track. A little bit sketchy on the numbers, but let's run through the results. Taking the win, it's Tim Delisle ahead of Manuel Huar and Paul Ilbrink in third. They're followed by Omar Baja, Edward A. Samborski, Jorge Exposito, Alexis Martaruco, Dan Yang, Erica Lindstrom, Massimiliano Carobin, Juan Parada Jr., Theodore Burns, Ronaldo Augusto, Marti Piatella in 14th, Erica Evastanina, Zach Broderick, Manuel Domingo, Cedric Bill, Burr, Greg Olson in 20th place. They're followed by Thomas Knoll, Rob Crouch, and Phil Reed. Both those last two guys left at the end of lap 1. Sam, what were your thoughts about that race?
I mean, that was absolutely incredible. Proper slipstream batsing, wasn't it? Like he was saying earlier on, it's like you were batsing on a super speedway, and draft effect massive. A shame that it ended as it was, but that was still a pretty cool final lap, and I just wonder how many more DRSs did Piatella have? I don't know. Maybe he used
Ooh.
them all, but I swear we saw Delar using like 20, and Piatella used about one for the entire race. But we should get some interviews with Jav, and I think we do have one interview coming up.
Yeah, we do have Paul Ilbrink waiting by for us, and we were actually excited for this interview since Paul was just sitting behind Tim and Matilda for most of the race. So how are you doing, Paul? Welcome.
Yeah, I'm happy to finish third after qualifying in sixth. So yeah, not a bad race for me, I guess.
We saw you not have the best start. You fell down to about seventh, and then starting making your way up through that massive train of cars at the start. How was that moving up through the field and getting up to third?
Well, was a bit worried because my sixth gear, like, it was perfect for driving alone, but with drafts, it just like hits a limiter at straights, so it's not optimal for overtaking. But I was just fortunate that a couple guys like backed off at the wrong times and made some small mistakes, so I could like pass a couple guys like Edward and Manuel as well at the beginning. But yeah, I just got like given P3 really at that point, and then it was just like hot lapping, trying to stick in the draft, but like Tim and Marty were just like quite a bit quicker, a couple tenths per lap when they were not battling. So yeah, I didn't really deserve to be close to them on track anyway. So third is fine for me.
So in the later parts of this race, you had a little bit of a spin dash slide coming out of what we're calling turn 3. Were the rear ends been giving you trouble throughout the week, or was that just a driver mistake?
No, it was just my mistake. Really, the tires held better than last week at Silverstone, where I struggled more. But this was a dumb mistake by me. Like, it was also a bit like I ran like out of DRS usages because I used a couple of them early on in the race to like defend and not get re-overtaken after I passed people. So I ran out with like the final 2 laps to go, and yeah, I was hoping that Manuel also had run out at that point, but unfortunately he didn't. So I think my mistake wasn't, even without the mistake, it would have been really difficult to hold that position to him. But yeah, just a dumb mistake, so my fault.
All right. Well, you still finished on the podium, so I would say that's a good race overall. But that's just my mind. I'm weird like that. But hey, before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, you guys for broadcasting this race again and doing a good job. And of course, also my team mates at Red Gulls Online and our partners and sponsors.
All right. Awesome. You have yourself a good week, and we'll see you next week.
See you.
That was Paul Ilbrink, and Sam, I believe you're standing with the winner.
Yes, it's Tim Delar. Congratulations, Tim. Another race win, but that was ever so close. That battle you had that you had throughout the race.
Thank you. I don't think congratulations is the right word right now. I just feel awful for what happened with Marty. It was an amazing race up to that point. You know, we both kept it so clean, and just that last lap, we were so close, and he was braking a little earlier than I expected. And I locked up, and like without net code, we both would have made the corner, and I'm so sick of it happening. But I should have accounted for that and left a little more room. So I just have to apologize to Marty. I just feel terrible.
Well, I mean, from our perspective, I mean, you did absolutely nothing wrong on that one. But yeah, massive netcode. As you said, kind of ruined it a bit for you. I was confused throughout the race how many DRSs you were using. I mean, it looks as though you were using loads. And then Marty didn't seem to be using any. How many did you have on remaining for that last lap?
I had one left for about the last, I don't even know, 6, 7 laps, something like that. What I was trying to do because I used a lot of them defending early on, and when Marty passed me, I was just trying to stick in his slipstream so I could save them, because I know Paul always likes to save his for the end, and I knew that, with the amount of racing we did, we let him back into that battle, and yeah, I was just trying to stick to it, and then eventually he broke the slipstream, and I think I used one then. I had two left at that point, um, and then he made a mistake, yeah, with a couple of laps to go, and I used my last one, and I was really surprised to see that it looked like he didn't have any, so it let me back in, but that's what ended up leading to sort of the end of his race. So yeah, just a bad situation.
And how was it kind of developing a setup for this place? Was it quite simple just to go really low downforce? Because sometimes we see quite a contrast in the downforce levels around tracks like this. I mean, what balance did you go for in the end?
Actually, with the current state of the car and tire model, it's pretty simple. Just tons of downforce. Even Spa, high downforce is faster. The only track where you can use medium downforce is Monza. So yeah, it was just a high downforce setup. Yeah, I made a couple of changes from the VRS set just to make it feel a bit nicer for my style, and yeah, I felt good. Setup was good. Qualifying went well. First time I've out qualified Marty, so I was happy with that. And yeah, it was an awesome race. But yeah, again, just disappointed.
Well, you should certainly feel very proud of yourself in the end, Tim, because that was a really good race. Thanks for the great spectacle. And before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yep, positive sim racing. It's awesome job from Manuel today. We scored a 1-2 for the team in the end, even if it wasn't how I wanted it. So yeah, just thanks to you guys for the coverage, and once again, because I can't say it enough, just sorry to Marty.
Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Tim, and best of luck for Spa next week.
Thanks, guys.
So that was Tim Dalal for Positive Sim Racing, winning out in today's race. And Austin, I think you're with Eddie Samborski.
Yes, I am with Eddie Zamborski. It was sitting in fourth place, and then with a few laps to go, unfortunately, coming out of the final corner, it got a little bit too much beans of the salsa and had a little bit of a spin, but finished in top 5. So I would say that would be good. Eddie, how was that race?
I'm a little baffled. I had really great pace all week, and then I got into the server here, and I couldn't touch these guys. I think I maybe cooked the tires. And that spin, I mean, believe it or not, I was actually taking it easy. I was just trying to hold the gap to Olmar and just get to the end of the race because the car just felt so unstable. And I don't know if that's what did me in, because maybe I was going too slow. I didn't have enough downforce to keep the rear under control. But I don't know. I was pretty surprised. I thought for sure, especially with the first 5 laps, I was going to be up battling for the win, and then I don't know, everyone was just gone.
Well, sometimes you have those weeks where you think you're Superman, and then when you get into the race, everyone shows up with a thing full of kryptonite.
Yeah, I mean, the first 5 laps, I was taking it easy, just warming the tires up, getting ready to go, and then I started trying to push, and the car just had nothing. But I mean, it's a good result. I'll be happy with it. Not in pit lane, and I struggled all week, even in a few other races. So I got a reasonable finish. It stinks for Marty and them guys. I was watching on the relative. That was a good battle.
Yeah, it looked like you were watching a great battle in front of you, but fifth place is what you got. Next week, what are your plans for practicing for there?
What is next week? Spa, right? Let me check the schedule really fast.
Yep.
It is
It is
Spa.
Spa.
I'm gonna figure out the setup. I'm usually not strong at Spa. Last couple of races there, I missed the mark on the setup, so I absolutely have to readjust. In my mind, the medium should be the most competitive because of the straights, but I've been proved wrong 2 race weekends in a row here, so I'm gonna go back and figure out what to do.
Yeah, we've been given a bit of information that the high downforce tracks, that almost all of the tracks are being used as high downforce tracks, and very little medium downforce tracks are being used. Like the only one would be Monza. That was coming from Tim in a way. So there is some setup advice for you, but don't take anything from me because I can't set up a car to save my life.
Yeah, neither can I apparently. We're in the same boat.
Well,
um,
before we let you go, anyone want to thank?
sure. We'll thank iRacing for keeping us up and running here with the increased load from people being on, and thank you guys for doing the broadcast. It's always great to watch them back. And thank the drivers. I survived today, which was nice. So as long as I make another one, I'll get through my problem tracks, I think.
Yeah, I just want to say with the increased load, 12,019 iRacers are currently online right now. So yeah, that is a giant load, and I'm very happy to see that sim racing is getting a lot more attention in the last few weeks and in the upcoming months. It's going to get crazy here.
I agree. It's nice. Today there was a special event on this service, and there's a few more going on. So it's nice to still have racing, even though the world's in a little bit of a odd state right now.
All right, thank you, man. You have yourself a good old day.
Thank you. You guys as well.
That was Eddie Samborski. Sam, I'm going to let you close this off with some final words.
Yes, I mean Spa next week. Good calendar. Well done to the Formula 3.5 guys for coming up with this calendar. Silverstone, Red America, Spa. Not a bad way to start the season, and that will be relatively similar to this place, I'm sure. And of course, we'll be back on Apex Racing TV same time next week for that.
Yeah, we'll see you next week here on Apex Racing TV at Spa. I've been joined by Sam Fitzpatrick in the commentary booth. All these wonderful, lovely graphics, cameras, and correct pronunciations of Italian names we had brought to you by Mark Barbonera. And I'm Austin Knight, and I hope all of you have a good night.